We're going to talk about those taboo things, bowel movements. We don't talk about bowel movements. Society has told us that that's something we need to keep hush hush, right? No, we need to be talking about intestinal health. We need to be talking about bowel movements. We need to be asking our family members how their bowel movements are. Every one of my clients are used to coming in and me asking how their bowel movements are because that's one of the main elimination organs. And if it is not functioning correctly, then that person is going to get sicker because they're going to become more toxic. We like to do intestinal cleanses 4 times a year to make sure that we're keeping it clean. Now, we're going to start our first one of 2021. You need 3 things in order to get started. You're going to get ICF-1. Let's explain what ICF-1 does. ICF-1 helps the peristaltic action of the bowel. Peristaltic action, the movement, right? Those muscles contracting, moving the feces through the intestines. Most people think they're having good bowel movements because they're having one a day, one every couple days, or I've even talked to people where it's once a week and they think that's normal for their body. No, we need to look at like how it was when we had our children. Remember our babies? We fed them, they pooped. We fed them, they pooped. That's how our bodies are naturally designed to function. We should be having a minimum of 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. Think of it as if you eat, you should be having an elimination for that, and not 24, 48, 72 hours later. Preferably, we would like it within 4 to 6 hours after you eat, but we can't have perfection all the time. I want to see 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. ICF-1 is the product to help us do that. How you're going to start, you're going to take 1 capsule of ICF-1 with dinner. You're going to take a few bites of food, take the capsule, and then finish eating. We want to take this with food because if we take it away from food, it has some hot herbs that can cause some tummy troubles. So always with food. You start with 1. Tonight, when you take it, tomorrow, look at your bowel movements. Did you have 2 to 3? Did you feel like you were having good elimination? If you say yes to that, 1's your magic number right now. If you said no, then tomorrow night, you're going to take 2 capsules. We're not going to jump to 5. We're not going to jump to 10. We're going to do 2. So you're going to eat a couple bites of food, take 2 capsules, finish your meal. Now, for some of us, we need to get up there in numbers. I know some people that take up to 10 a day. Sometimes I've even had a few that take up to 15. Depends on what your body is doing and what it needs, what type of support it needs. Don't be surprised. If you get to those larger numbers, spread it out throughout the day. Just always with food. Always with food. So if you're taking 6 a day, maybe take 2 with breakfast, 2 with lunch, 2 with dinner. Now, if you take 1 and you have a little bit looser stool, back off a little. Bring that number back down. You might have to adjust this back and forth as you're going through this. Now, for me, I always thought I was doing intestinal cleanses. I would run to the grocery store. I would get what they called a bowel cleanse, and I would do it, and basically all it was a laxative. This is not that type of cleanse. You are able to leave your house. You don't have to be stuck to the toilet all day, okay? Don't be afraid. But we always start with ICF-1. Always, always, always. And once we get those bowel movements going, then we're going to add in ICF-2. ICF-2 is the sticky stuff. When you're getting the bowel movements going, the ICF-2 is going to go through the intestines and it's going to grab all the yucky gunk that is stuck in the linings, all that impacted fecal matter, and it's going to pull it out. Now, do you see the importance of having good bowel movements during this cleanse? Because if you don't, that sticky stuff is like tar and it's going to stick. And then you're going to be locked up, miserable, bloated. We don't want that. We want good bowel movements throughout the cleanse. Now, if you're a first timer, and this is the first time you've done an intestinal cleanse, let's start off a little slower. Let's do 2 to 4 capsules, 3 or 4 times a day. I know I'm not giving you a set number because you figure out what works for you. Now, if you're a pro, meaning you've done more than one intestinal cleanse, you're going to do 4 capsules 5 times a day. That sounds like a lot of pills, right? That's what we have to do until the entire bottle is gone. Once the entire bottle's gone, you're done with your intestinal cleanse. We're going to keep taking ICF-1 if we need to make sure that we continue to have good bowel movements. We don't want to go back to the old, right? What's that definition of insanity? Keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So if we have good elimination and we continue that elimination, then we're not going to go back to when we had all that impacted fecal matter, all the toxins being reabsorbed in the intestines, right? We're going to become healthier. Now, the third product that you're going to use is your superfoods. Superfoods is your multivitamin, multi-mineral supplement. It's food though. So when we eat it, our body knows what to do with it. It understands it. It knows how to absorb those vitamins, how to absorb those minerals, and how to use it to nourish the body. What's our philosophy here at the office? Cleanse and nourish. And that's what we're going to do. Now, for some of you who are really brave, we're going to mix their superfood with water, swish it around in our mouth, chug it down. I am a smoothie queen. I like to mix it in my smoothies, and you can find some great smoothie recipes on things like Pinterest. Just doing a Google search. You can even search through our groups and see our recommendations for smoothies. With our superfood, if you're a first timer again, maybe you start with 1 tablespoon a day. Give your palate time to adjust. Give it a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, and then add in that second tablespoon. After a while, you don't even taste it. I don't even taste it in my smoothie anymore. So for me, it took just a couple weeks to adjust to that, or to adjust my palate to it. So we've done the intestinal cleanse. That's it. Easy, right? Get ready to start. Make sure you've joined our group. Make sure you're getting the support you need while you're going through this. The nice thing about this intestinal cleanse is for most people, what they experience is energy, better sleep, better moods. Now, for those of us who really pay attention to our bodies, we know when our hormones are a little out of balance, right? Sometimes this can help align our hormones, and so we feel better. I have never had a client be upset that I put them on an intestinal cleanse. They've always felt better. I personally do it sometimes more than 4 times a year just because I love the way it makes me feel. So let's get started. Reach out to us if you need us. Make sure you have your products. Let's go.